people at home are struggling with that off-speed pitch, just give us a little bit. What club do you have in your hand there?
I have a 58 here.
Okay, so 58 goes how far for you typically?
58's about 95 yards.
Okay, and then how about the 64? How far is that going?
I never really max it out, but max from the fairway I'll be like 70.
Okay, so that's a 25-yard gap roughly, right?
Correct.
So let's say we've got a situation where we've got 82 yards. What are we going to do? How are we going to dial this down?
So for me, there's a couple different ways. Obviously, it's ball position. The further back you put it, the less loft you have, so you can hit a little further.
Okay.
So first, to take off distance, I put it up in my stance a little bit. That'll add some spin.
Okay.
And then I grip up on it. So the shorter the club, obviously, the shorter the distance is going to go.
Gotcha.
And then another way to take off distance is open the face a little bit. So there's 3 different ways for me to make it really simple to control my distance. So
beautiful. So show us that. And are you doing anything with your swing at all? Are you trying to make a shorter swing or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean 3/4. You could just mainly add speed at the bottom for the distance, I think.
Okay.
I'm not really into the clock system. It's more of feel and just choking up and manipulating the face.
Beautiful. So let's see it.
So for about 80 yards here, we're going to take off about 15 yards. So
okay.
I want to choke up about an inch.
Okay.
An inch for me is about 10 yards. So I choke up. It's about middle of my stance here, and I have a very narrow stance when I have wedges. So narrow stance, little up, about a half to an inch grip up.
Okay.
And then just 3/4 swing.
And when you're hitting a 3/4 swing or making a 3/4 swing, when you're getting, boy, that was really good. When you're making a 3/4 swing, what are you thinking about for 3/4? Is it just a feel? You kind of feel like you're just kind of stopping a little bit short, or how do you regulate 3/4?
3/4 to me is like kind of just shoulder to shoulder.
Okay.
So I can see the club if I look back, and then on the way through I can basically see the whole club.
Show us again. That's terrific.
So obviously get my alignment first. Club face is pretty square. Little narrow stance, a little bit up. Grip up a little bit, and then 3/4 swing.
Now, how do you vary the trajectory of the shots that you're hitting? How do you hit a low one or a high one?
It's different because there's so many different ways to hit low or high. You can add spin.
Yeah.
My favorite way to hit a low shot is by opening the face a lot.
Let's see.
And then putting it back.
So opening up the face is going to give you a little more loft, and moving the ball back is going to take off some loft.
Correct. And then it's kind of a technique that it's hard to learn, but if you mess around at home, it's pretty fun. So what I do is I open the face a lot, kind of put it back in my stance, and then what I'm thinking about is the face is kind of closing on the way through, so it's rotating, which means it's going to get as many grooves as possible.
Oh, there you go. There's a little flighted wedge.